back to my channel. Today I'm going to share a few crafts like this one to do with your toddler in order to get ready for the Halloween season. My little one is so excited to craft for Halloween, so I thought I would share some of the things that we are doing at our house to get into the Halloween spirit. And this video is in collaboration with a few other YouTubers who are also showing some crafts on their channel as well. So I have a couple here to show you today, but if you need some more ideas than what I've provided, then look in the description box below and you can see all of their craft videos as well.
The first thing I have for you today is a Halloween themed sensory bin. So what you want to do is cook some pasta about 2 minutes less than the box tells you to, just so that it's a little less than al dente. Then after it cools, you want to drain it, put a little bit of olive oil with it in a bag, and I separated it into three separate bags so that I could do three colors. And I had Isabel put a few drops of food coloring in each bag and massage it. We then dumped it on a cookie tray to put in the oven. You can let it sit out and just air dry if you wish, but I just wanted to speed up the process, so I put it in the oven at 250 for about 20 minutes. And I did that so that when the kids touched the noodles with their hands, the dye, the food coloring, did not get all over their hands because if it dries out, then it doesn't transfer. So I do that, and then I just put it in a bin and gave them a bunch of different things and some Halloween themed doodads to go at it. I chose noodles for this because I thought it was a little more festive. It's kind of like creepy worms or something that was just a new texture and on theme. So that's why I chose to do those. But you could do this with a different medium if you wish, such as black beans or rice or something like that. Pretty much everything that you see here is purchased from the Dollar Tree, so they have so many fun, festive things to put in these bins. That's where I would recommend going. I also threw in some letter magnets to make this a little more educational, and I threw in the letters of her name, and then she was able to scoop them out and line them up in word order. The next craft that I have is a paper bag puppet witch. And so what you need is a brown paper bag and a black marker to just turn this thing black. You could also use paint, but I chose marker because you would then have to let the paint dry, and I didn't want to have to worry about that. I wanted to do the craft right away. So with a black marker, I just colored the from the flap down black. Then I took a piece of green construction paper and I just measured out where the flap was so that the whole thing would get covered. I just put little marks so that I could cut it out correctly. I then folded the paper in half and just to see where the middle was. And then I created like a little chin area of this paper so that I just could outline that so that I would know where to cut for a face and it will come a little bit below the flap. Then I cut out the face piece in green. Again, you probably could do this with paint. I just chose it to do it this way so that we didn't have dry time. And once I did that, then I wanted to cut out the witch's hat. So I took a piece of black construction paper and I just marked where I thought the hat would go and then just lightly penciled an outline for a template so that I could then just cut it out easily. Once I had it cut, I kind of had all of the pre-steps done. Now it was time to grab Isabel. The first thing you want to do is get a piece of orange construction paper and trace both hands onto it. Try to make sure they stay still and spread their fingers out as wide as they can. And once you finish with this, you want to cut it out as the parent. You want to make sure that you have all the fingers, so you probably want to do it yourself rather than let them try. Mine really did want to cut something though, so I did give her her own scissors with some of the scrap paper and I just let her cut as she wished. But while you finish doing the hands, while you cut them out, you can let them try to glue on the green face themselves and try to get it lined up as best as they can. Once you're done with the hands, you can give them to the child and have them kind of fold up the fingers like an accordion. So she had a little hard time trying to figure that out at first, but she actually really enjoyed trying to figure out an accordion fold. It was the first time that we had done that. Once you have them all kind of folded, the hands will act as the witch's hair. So then just repeat the gluing process. Have them add some glue and then help them to line up the hands on where it would go on the witch's face. And because toddlers can kind of be crazy when it comes to glue, when they are doing the gluing, I would recommend telling them exactly, precisely where you want them to glue. So I told her, for this, just the wrist and only the wrist. That way we didn't kind of have glue going everywhere, all over the table and all over the other parts of the fingers that just would have become a sticky mess. So that really seemed to help, just giving her very specific instructions. The next thing you can have them do is line the bottom of the hat with glue and press it between the hands. This does not have to be an exact science. Imperfection is totally fine. They're going to love the witch no matter if it's the exact perfect proportions or not. Just let them go with it. And once that is done, you can then give them two googly eyes and have them glue those on as well and start making this witch just kind of come to life. Because the googly eyes are so small, they can be a little tricky for them to pick up and handle. So just be patient with them and let them keep trying if they're having a tough time. And after the eyes are securely on, you'll want to give them a red marker and let them draw a mouth as best they can. And then if you want to help them with a nose, then you can help them with a nose.
You like her?
So she did really like her witch puppet, but she was disappointed that she did not have a broom. So I just quickly drew a little template, cut it out, and then did some fringe, just cut some slits and ruffle it up for fringe of the broom, and then let her glue it on and kind of showed her where it might look best on the puppet so that her puppet could be a flying witch, not just an ordinary witch. So if your child might want that extra step, then I would highly recommend it. It did add a little something to the puppet. And then quickly, I will just share a third craft that we did, which is this bat outline craft. And so you cut out some bats, you put them on the paper, and then you have them do finger painting with a few colors on the outline of the bat in order to then remove the bats and just see, the outline. Well, I would just recommend that you need to use really nice paint so that it dries and still looks like the paint. If you don't, it kind of just fades. And then also, mine did not want to take the bats off. She liked the bats, so you might run into that as well.
All right, those are the crafts I have for you today. I hope that you get to do some of these with your little one. Please tag me if you do so that I can see your creation. See you next time.